I'll call the March 24th Almont Schools Board of Education meeting to order at 6:32 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Burrow, would you do roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Eckert? Mr. Terrence?
Here.
Ms. Fredrickson? Absent. Mr. Wade? Here. Mr. Burns? Here. Mr. Burrow? Here. Ms. Smith?
Here.
We have 6 present and 1 absent.
Thank you. Any adoption to the agenda? Any addition?
No additions.
Any deletion?
We do have a deletion. We're going to delete School of Choice 2025-2026 from the agenda. Okay. Communications. First, we have Student Council. Hannah Bussin, thank you for being here.
Good evening. For the past month, we've had a few activities planned. In Rachel's Challenge, we spent the week before St. Patrick's Day assembling shamrocks to place on each student's locker for the following Monday. It seemed to have a good turnout, and some people got really excited about St. Patrick's Day. In Capstone, a food drive has been held by Leah Ellis for about 2 weeks now, collecting various donations for the Lapeer Community Homeless Shelter. There will be a second annual Janice Ryan Memorial 5K held May 17th at 9 around our school campus. It is also known as the Teddy Bear Trot. In NHS, we are planning to host our third and final blood drive of the year on April 11th to donate to Red Cross. And that is all for this month. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for being here. Okay, next up, our rate of recognition this month is our Almont High School robotics with Mrs. Zielinski and I feel like some student helpers from the team.
Hi, we have a presentation I'm going to get pulled up just so we can show you some pictures. All right, I've got a couple of students with me. This is Sean, Cooper, and Chandler. And we will just go through a couple of highlights from this year of where our team is at and how we did, and show you some pictures of our team. My husband and I, Noah, we are kind of new to the team. We joined kind of halfway through last year and started getting involved. And we've been more involved kind of leading the team this year and helping to pick up some of the pieces of the team just to kind of move us into a new phase and hopefully set ourselves up for success. We had a challenging year last year, but we saw a lot of growth, and that's really what we were hoping to do. So we're hoping to continue that excitement and that momentum moving forward. This season was a reefscape theme. So the whole idea behind the competition was for the robots to mimic things that actual robots would be doing in coral reefs. That was the big idea this year. So there were a whole bunch of different objectives and different ways that we could earn points to score and increase our rankings. But the major ones were to place a piece of coral PVC onto what's considered the reef. That's the purple thing that you can kind of see in the middle there. And to move around those blue balls were algae. And then we were supposed to be able to climb at the end of the matches. Those were the 3 big ways to earn points in this build season. Did I miss anything?
Maybe.
Go for it.
No, it's like if they're looking there, they're going to be like, robots, yours.
So the pictures are kind of hard to see, but we're in both of those pictures. I think there's a later slide that has a better view of a robot. But we mainly decided to focus on only handling the PVC, so it's an 11 and 7/8 inch long piece of PVC. So we focused mainly on just getting as many of those back and forth to score as many points as possible. And then we also focused on climbing. We struggled with climbing throughout most of the season, and we got it to where it would almost work, but it wasn't good enough to actually use it in a match.
And for reference, our team number is 4961.
So if you can see it it's on the blue or red bumpers on the bottom of the robot. That's the easiest way to see it. We should have brought the robot with us, but I forgot.
It's all right.
Can we go get Paul?
Might be a little late now. All right. Just for some context on these matches that we're talking about, each match is 3 minutes long. There's an autonomous phase that says 15 seconds, but I believe it might be 20 seconds.
15.
Oh, it is 15. Okay. 15 seconds of pre-programmed action where the robot can score bonus points for being able to move and place coral with nobody operating it. So there's a whole lot of code that goes into that. We originally were only able to move, but by our match this weekend, we were actually able to score some bonus points in that section. So we were really proud that we got that working. Following that is a teleoperator phase where we can do all of the other things to score points, where our drivers are actually physically moving the robot around using controllers and working together alongside 2 other teams, which are on what's considered an alliance. So we compete every single match. We are randomly paired with 2 other teams from around the area, and we compete against 3 other teams. And that helps our rankings go up and down throughout the day so that eventually it narrows the teams down into a list of 1 through approximately 40 is what is at a given competition on any given day. So did I miss anything? Oh, sure. We'll play a video. It's a little hard to see, but I will.
You can full screen.
Yeah.
So we're the robot in the middle. That's not going back up to the top, and then we come back again. So if you can it's kind of hard to see, but that white thing up top is the coral, and then we're placing it on the highest rung of the reef. We call it L4, but it's just the 4th level, and that's the most amount of points. So we were actually best at scoring that, and in a good match, we were able to compete with some of the statewide and nationally ranked teams. We just couldn't do it enough, and then we kind of got screwed over a couple times. So we did have a very good robot this year. We just didn't have enough time and experience to actually get it to where it could have gone.
Yeah, like we said, we're working on growth, and we are incredibly proud of how far we've come from last year. So the fact that we could compete with some of these teams that have been strong for a lot longer than us and are a lot bigger than us and potentially have more funding than us was really impressive. So
We're out for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
We went toe-to-toe with Notre Dame Prep at one point, and we put up a similar amount of scores. That we had a little bit more help from our teammates than they had. They got really screwed over and had 2 basically non-functioning teammates, but at one point we almost went toe-to-toe with Notre Dame Prep, and they're a 30-year team with more funding than we could imagine.
Oh, I don't want that again. There we go. So on that note, to celebrate, Kettering was our first comp this year. We were 21st place, so right in the middle there. Like we said, we had a couple things not working. We weren't able to score in that auton phase, even though we were able to move, and we had a few inconsistencies, but we moved up to 18th place, which doesn't seem huge, but it ultimately allowed us to move on to the playoffs, and we were 12th overall for average points scored per match. So we were scoring right around 50 points per match, which is a huge win, because at Kettering, I believe our average was about 20. So we had a huge jump there just in those 2 weeks from the team working really hard and fixing some things and practicing. They're here so many hours a night, and so their hard work really paid off, which was cool to see. There's a couple of pictures there. On the left is our drive team with the robot, and then on the right is our whole team. I think that's the end. Did I miss anything? Oh, wait. Some more pictures of the team just having fun, working hard out there. We have some fun when we're there, so we really enjoy getting the team together. They got really, really pumped up at this last match, and we were incredibly loud from the stands. So we had volunteers joking with us that they couldn't hear us from down on the field, but we were impressed that just with 5 or 6 of us up there, we were so loud. So it was awesome. Anything you guys wanted to share? All right. Do you have any questions for us?
What grade are each of you guys in?
I'm a senior. He's
I'm a senior.
I'm a junior.
So you're gonna be our leadership for next year.
That is the plan.
Well,
Yeah.
we came in today because we were just cleaning up so the whoever shares our space with us, they could have that room kind of back for a little while. And we walked in and it was like, okay, Sean, you're in charge now. What are we doing? You and white. So
Yeah,
How many seniors do you have on your team? 'Cause-
I believe we have 6. So we've got a big group kind of
Yeah.
transitioning out, but we also had a big group of 8th and 9th graders come in this year. So we're hoping to continue to recruit, especially at the 8th and 9th grade orientation. That seemed to be a great way to get kids interested and a great way to get some parent contact info. So we're planning on continuing to do that and just trying to get people to bring friends. And we have a student this year that is a senior, so he's going to be leaving, but he thought he wasn't a robotics kid. He thought it wasn't going to be fun. We were all just a bunch of nerds, and he showed up and he has come every day that he possibly can since. So it's a fun group. We just got to get people here to convince them that how fun it is. So
and then most of the seniors are also planning on. First is great because it allows seniors to come back the next year as mentors. So at least I'm planning on coming back every weekend I can from college. I know Chandler is planning on staying relatively local, so he'll come back. And then, so we're definitely planning on staying and helping as much as we can until the team can get back on its feet again. So.
Well, as you know, that was my first experience at a robotics competition, but I had a blast. So thank you so much. You guys were great. I was able to go down to the pit, and what that looked like. That was amazing. So I'm not gonna lie, got a little tour of what other schools are doing, and would like to share, I'm sure you guys have the ideas, but we would definitely like to get behind you, support you, and give you everything you need so you can, be one of these top runners. But I gotta tell you, I was very impressed with this programming. So we'd like to do everything, we can to continue to support you. So thank you so much. I also wanted to do a shout out to Mr. Zielinski. I know he's not here tonight, but Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez have also been a huge hand in robotics, and Bryce Munson has served as a mentor, kind of like what you're speaking to, I think, Cooper, for next year. So thank you guys so much for all that you're doing. It's an exciting program.
yeah, thank you for coming this weekend, and thanks for letting us present and just share what we do. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
That'll bring us to our first questions and comments from the audience for anything pertaining to the agenda. Anybody in the audience like to be recognized, you can please come up to the microphone and state your name. We'll have 3 minutes. There will be another opportunity later. Any questions or comments from the Board of Education?
Mrs. Smith.
Mr. Burns.
I'd like to recognize Chartwells for hosting the board last month to kind of show us the high school cafeteria and taste the food and their hospitality.
Mrs. Smith?
Carrie?
I wanted to take a moment to thank the principals at each building for the building tours. Those were very well organized, very enjoyable experience. The students also did a phenomenal job with walking us through each building, sharing a little bit more of an insight as to how each building operates. All in all, it was a great experience. Just want to say thank you.
Anybody
Mrs.
else?
Smith?
Ms. Fry.
I would like to thank Ms. Von Hillmeyer. I know that we had asked for the information on how many people are viewing our meetings, and I think that having that put on the internet has been very, very helpful, and especially for our work sessions, I see that our numbers are up, and I think that that's fantastic. So thank you for bringing that information to us.
You're welcome. Anything else on the board? Consent agenda.
Mrs. Smith?
Mr. Burns, or Mr. Burrow.
I move the Board of Education approve the consent agenda. A, approval of minutes from February 24th, 2024, regular meeting. B, approval of minutes from the March 13th, 2025 MASP workshop. C, approval of minutes from the March 18th, 2025 closed session. D, approval of the minutes from the March 18th, 2025 work session.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Please make sure that you acknowledge the Orchard Primary, Middle School, High School, and athletic accounts, which I was a little bit early, sorry.
Mrs. Smith.
Mr. Ray.
I move the Board of Education approve the bills payable and the financial reports as proposed by administration and reviewed by the Finance Committee as follows. February 19th, 2025 through March 14th, 2025. General fund total, $305,079.58. School lunch fund, $58,962.81. Student activity fund, $20,626.01. 2014 sinking fund, $36,330.65. Subtotal, $421,849.05. ACH wire transactions, payroll, February 28th through March 14th, $1,057,475.35. Edu staff, $13,687.35. Health equity, HSA, $12,193.14. Credit card, BMO, $25,994.78. Health insurance, $121,255.27. Arbiter pay, $10,000.00. Pro care fees, $138.57. Total funds spent, $1,662,593.51. Check numbers and voided checks as listed below.
Support. Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now you can acknowledge the Orchard Primary, Middle School, High School, and Athletic Student Activity Account Report.
Okay. Going to start with our principal reports. So from Orchard Primary, another great month at Orchard Primary. Wonderful March is Reading Month going on there. Lots of celebrations. There was one on March 19th. Students had the opportunity to shop the book fair with their parents, see a music show, and take Mr. Bruno to the wall. We also celebrated St. Patrick's Day with Raiders reps selling Lucky Grams and some wonderful class celebrations. There was a second grade field trip to the Sloan Museum in Flint. I was very privileged, no need to thank me, Mr. Bruno. I was very privileged and honored to read to several classrooms during the month of March and have a few more to get to this Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to that. The trimester also ends earlier this month. So we're excited to share those grades with the families so they can see the great progress students have made. And Mr. Bruno would like to wish everyone a happy spring break coming up. From the middle school, fourth graders completed their economics unit in social studies and hosted an amazing mini mall for parents, staff, and students. Students presented their products along with their marketing plans and commercials as mini mall guests shopped with paper currency. Thank you to the amazing fourth grade teachers for facilitating this enriching learning experience and the event for our students and families. Seventh grade students attended the Motor City Cruise Education Day at Wayne State University, which provided enrichment of science, social studies, and PE curriculum. Michigan Science Center, Mad Science Detroit, Code 313, and the Michigan Department of Natural Resources were on site to conduct fun, engaging activities for our students. Let's see, we also have some awesome enriching field trips planned for students in upcoming weeks. Fourth graders will visit the Michigan Science Center, fifth grade will visit the planetarium, and seventh grade choir will attend the choral festival. So a lot of things going on there. You can see some other things in your reports, in your drive. Also, the high school for Mr. Spear. Congratulations to the Almont boys bowling team who won the MHSAA regional championship and then moved on to the states where they placed 14th. Hunter Ross took second place in regionals with a 231 average, moving on to states and winning the MHSAA States Division III Singles Championship. So great job to all the bowlers. Congratulations to 10th grade student Keith Gemmel for being accepted into the incredibly prestigious Interlochen Summer Music Program. This was a rigorous process that involved composing his own song and then performing it before a panel of judges. So great job there, Keith. The 8th grade band received a 2nd Division Excellent rating for their concert performance on Saturday, March 1st, earning them a medal. They also received a 1st Division Superior rating in sight reading. High school band earned straight 1st Division ratings for a 1st Division Superior rating overall and all A's from the panel of judges. So congratulations to the music program, Music Boosters, Mr. Wetzel, for all your hard work. There's a couple other kudos there in your board drive, so please look those over. A couple other announcements that I just wanted to share. I wanted to extend a special thank you to our SRO, our school resource officer, Officer Retzler, for always going above and beyond. I am so impressed with the work that he's been doing to ensure the safety of our students, staff, and school community. He's taken extra steps, for example, in our latest Blue Point drill, just to get other Almont PD involved in those drills, putting all eyes on in the event of an emergency. So I am just very thankful that Officer Retzler is aboard and he's taking his job very seriously. And there's some other maybe future recommendations he would like to make to the board. So I'm very excited about his work. I would also like to wish our staff, students, and families a restful and safe spring break next week. Please get some R&R. As you know, that last jog there, when we come back from spring break, there's a lot of activities. We also have a testing window coming up, kind of high stakes, right? Some SAT and MSTEP testing, upon us. So please get some R&R, out there. So looking forward to some the spring break though, just to get a little rest. So thank you for that.
Going into finance.
Okay. Under 31AA. So according to policy 311, the board shall, upon the advice of the superintendent, consider the advisability of creating a new position of increasing the number of professional staff members in an existing position. Both Orchard Primary and Almont High School require additional administrative student support. 31AA grant funding allows the district to fund 2 administrative positions focused on mental health in compliance with grant guidelines without impacting the general fund. This was recommended by committee 2-1.
Mrs. Smith.
Mr. Ray.
I move the Board of Education approve the creation of new positions to support both Orchard Primary and Almont High School using 31AA grant funding.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion?
Mrs. Smith,
Ms. Briggs?
so since we had our meeting last week, now we've got new information, and I'd like to get an explanation of what was sent to us.
We did update the spreadsheet to you so that you could see the breakdown of where the funding would be coming from. So 31AA, again, is part of that as our student mental health grant. We also have an opportunity from 31A as that's another additional pot for at-risk. So with the joint grants, we're able to provide the opportunities for both those administrative grants, again, with the 31AA in connection with 31A at-risk money. We wanted you to see that breakdown and also to communicate that we're able, as you know, 31AA, this was brought up in the work session regarding potential safety projects. We're able then to move, to utilize both of those grants so that we can open up some money for our safety projects. So for example, things that are in our sinking fund, projects are in the queue, for example, rekeying the district. So these are funds that we'll be able to utilize